All right, guys, here we are with law number 4 from the 69 laws to get us to Mars and Elon Musk colonizing the rest of the universe. All right, so 41, government cannot spy on citizens unless they have already caused trouble. In the USA, nobody should be treated like a criminal by default, and yet that is how people are being treated a lot, but also especially when it comes to buying remote-controlled toys. Recently, they created all these new laws, and now you need this thing called a Part 107, which is one of the most ridiculous laws ever made. You used to be able to make money with toys. Now you can't. So that is a really, really bad thing that they did. Again, guess what? Who was president? The two usual suspects always cause the most trouble. It is Trump Biden. Yay, it's the, I like to call them the WWTF tag team of doom. And that's why we've been trying to replace both of these two goons, which have caused way too much trouble. We need a new generation of leaders. 42, the government cannot enter your home unless there is foul play or probable cause. We want to make sure that stays in place. 43, you are innocent unless you are proven to be guilty. That's one of the best things about being an American. 44, the government cannot start a war without consulting its people. I talked about this previously in a different law. But this basically, a lot of these laws actually are very similar to each other, and they play together very well. They basically intersect and weave. They did the weave like Donald Trump. Nobody is above the law, not even the president of the United States. Okay, that's very important. 46, the president cannot use loopholes in order to serve more than 2 terms in office. We won't mention who wants to do that. Anyway. 47, the president cannot pardon himself or perform war crimes like the murder of women and children, especially if they are not wielding weapons. Wait, what? That didn't make any sense. The president cannot pardon himself or perform war crimes. That did make sense. However, that makes sense, but it also doesn't make sense. What I was trying to say there is, nobody should be able to just blanketly just go out and kill women and children during war times. Not even the president. Nobody's above the law. Nobody should do that ever. And what I was trying to say there was, especially if you are if you're a more powerful country attacking, okay, let's say you have F-35s and you're fighting people with sticks. That's not really a war. But which brings me to the next point, which was 48. A one-side massacre cannot be defined as a war. Wielding an F-35 jet against people with machine guns and sticks is not a war. It is a massacre, right? Let's be real here. 49. It should be against the law to have an excessive amount of laws that exist in opposition to each other. And this usually is done on purpose to create loopholes exploitable by wealthy or corrupt, to stop good citizens from living healthy lives, or it also undermines their human rights. If building better infrastructure like bullet trains and superior methods of locomotion like over Unity, again, all these technology that exist that are being suppressed by the government, free energy, zero-point energy, the government shouldn't hide this, as well as in case of building a bullet train, they should be able to pay off homeowners much more, obviously, than the value of their homes is, plus, obviously, all the costs associated with it, such as moving costs, help them find a better home in other location in order to repurpose the land to help improve the lives of the masses, right? You don't want them to just say, okay, get out of your home, we're going to create a train where your house used to be, and then not pay them off, right? Or use the excuse of a war, or use the excuse of messing with the weather to destroy their houses so that you can take over their land. We don't want any of that kind of stuff to be done, and we want it to be done legally if it is to be done, in order to get, we've always wanted a bullet train from Southern California to Northern California. We don't get to do that, I guess, because we can't displace people who may be in the way of doing that. So we should be able to pay these people the good amount of money, more than what their house is worth, plus the cost of their troubles of moving to a better location and all that stuff, and do it legally so that we can build these bullet trains and stuff that we need to make life better in the long run and pollute less of the environment, right? 50, the government should not be able to tax people in ways that stops them from existing, living dignified life, infringing on their human rights, right? There are crazy taxes and laws that are excessive. 51, the government should not be able to tax you on personal property, house, and car, and certain things. We do want to be able to live lives, for instance, in ways that we don't end up being homeless, because most people are what? They're doing a job, which is just over broke, right? So all it takes is one bad day at work, or one injury at work, or something happening with their health or somebody in their family, and they become broke. We don't want that. That's not the way we want the American dream to be. 52, basic health care is a human right. If you get hit by a car or found by somebody laying on the ground and somebody calls an ambulance or the police, should be able to save you. You don't have to have insurance, but in America, that's not true. Most of the time you need insurance and you end up, for the most part, dying. So that's not great. We should have health care for all, especially, as I said before, in states where you're taxed to death. You need to have that health care. It needs to exist. 53, creating excessively complicated to achieve certifications in order to work should be outlawed, unless we are talking about dangerous jobs where the risk of injury to people makes it a requirement, right? You don't want a surgeon that doesn't know what they're doing, or a plane pilot who doesn't know what they're doing, or somebody who's going to build a skyscraper that's going to fall over, or a bridge that's going to collapse under its weight. But there's so many things like, for instance, working in a restaurant and a bunch of other things where seriously, what we should have is a way for people to learn on the job and stuff like that. We should be much more able to help people integrate into the system. Like, for instance, they're requiring you to have a certification to sell houses. They're requiring you to have a certification to be, basically to sell insurance, a bunch of stuff. And you're like, well, I want to do the job, but I don't have whatever amount of money to get certified to do this job, and now I can't do the job. Like, what are we talking about? This is not what America used to be like. It just used to be like, okay, well, I want to try to be work in the restaurant, and somebody's going to help me. I'll do like a few months working for free or whatever, or maybe I get a very small amount of payment during that time while I work and learn how to do the job, and then I start, the actual job. But all this certification stuff is really making it impossible for people to join new industries. So when it comes to simple jobs like flying DJI drone with an autopilot like features to ask people to get licensed, fly and earn money is an abuse of power by the government. It is like asking your burger flipper at McDonald's to get certification to be a burger flipper. I mean, come on. Some of these things, as I said before, you shouldn't need a certification to do it. Or a pin, like somebody that we know. So all that kind of stuff. Okay, so then we're gonna start with law number 54 in the next video, and that may be close to the end. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon, guys.